Welcome back to Pole Barn Garage, where today I have bought what is the worst GTO on the planet again. I'm here with Mr. Good Pliers, Jim and JD, and we are going to try to get this absolutely burned to a crisp 1968 GTO running and driving. Try to drive it home 200 miles to Kansas City. It's not very good, Tim.
Not very good.
We have a lot of custom body work too.
Let me get you into the. This is the.
Oh, the door. Oh,
but hang on. Hey.
So it is a 68. It is a real GTO 242 code. We've got the dual gate shifter on the floor. We've got not much else. It's roached. So it was in a building fire. The car itself was not on fire, evidenced by the tires are still here.
Oh.
Well, wow. This is incredible. I mean, what a true time capsule survivor this car is.
CD player.
So it is complete. We have motor, transmission. We got four-wheel drum brakes on this. It's kind of odd. AC condenser, completely melted. Under the hood, we have a 400. Now, I don't believe it's the correct engine. I've looked at it. Somebody scraped off the suffix code. It is a GTO motor, but it's not numbers matching. It has number 16 heads on it, though, so it should be a good runner if it runs. I don't know. What do you think, JD? You think we drive this home 200 miles?
Yes.
Well, that's
optimistic.
Yeah.
Well, I look at it this way. Third time's a charm. This is the third vehicle for the trip.
Third vehicle on the trip. We just got hit by a semi-truck last night. We got nowhere to go but up. I can tell you guys one thing. I don't want to touch this vehicle. Why don't we drag it to a car wash and wash it off and see if we could just make it a little more sanitary to get hands on. We gotta get this thing hooked up. Thankfully it's on a trailer, so we can just drag it right to a car wash, completely destroy the car wash. I don't live here, it's not my problem. Sorry, Tim. Here's a vacuum. Let's destroy it by vacuuming out whatever we can out of here. That's salvageable. We'll keep that. Baby wipes?
Yeah, they're still good.
There, I need one of those. They're still moist.
Yeah, no. I need one of them too.
Yeah. We'll wipe our hands off with those. I think this car is savable, guys. Maybe I'm crazy. I see a lot of potential here. Let's let this thing soak and maybe it'll open up eventually. I'm gonna soak the shifter down too.
G and a no. Did we get a T?
There's kind of a T. Well, no, that's just the line.
It's a G and an O.
It's a GO.
We're getting it. I'm working on a custom install. Fix. Instead of just drawing the shark straw, I decided to go ahead and volunteer for the underhood spray, which is no doubtly going to blast half of that back onto me. It had antifreeze in it. Woo!
Dismal to average, Tim?
Dismal to average. It started the day dismal and we've moved up to average.
Averagely shitty.
It's got a good exhaust system under there, Dalton.
So, Tim, what happened to this?
It was 2 months ago, beginning of April. The story I got from the news, official source was the guy was an apartment manager, and he had two hobbies: auto restoration on the high end and illegal fireworks on the low end. Now, I've heard that either of those can be fatal, but in this case, it was the illegal fireworks that got him. He was mixing two chemicals, and at the point they came together, his body was blown into pieces.
So it's haunted.
I prefer the term possessed.
I mean, maybe not the inside of the car. There may be like this, 10 foot away
Ethereal presence.
follows you.
Good. What is? Oh, the T! Nice catch. Let's drag this thing back, get the wheels off of it, try to get some rubber on it so we can move it around a little, and then we'll really start working on her. Now, we have to move your pristine Grand Prix first. You keep it over here so it doesn't get rained on much, right? Do I need to steer that? Here's what we'll be working, shade tree style, literally. Got my full crew over here sweeping up the pad, so we're actually going to do this in our $1 million shop. But we'll put it over here for TV production.
So we're gonna straighten the wheels out, roll the GTO into the restoration suite.
It actually turns remarkably well.
Initial assessment here, so
I think we drag her off. Let's get some rubber on it. Gonna need tires, no matter how this goes. While Tim, our gracious host, Mr. Good Pliers on YouTube, subscribe immediately, or else while he runs and gets these tires mounted up, then we will take a look at the brakes and see what we got.
Well, that was the plan. Buckle up, guys. This turns into kind of a scattergun approach to fixing a car.
guessing here that we want to go for a run first.
Run first,
Yeah,
then
because
brakes?
you hit the brake pedal of the car where she said it has brakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it feels like brake pedal anyway.
I don't know
So
if
they're
we're gonna-
probably fine.
They weren't fine.
We gotta get this thing in neutral. I don't know if it's the cable or the shifter that's melted. These dual gates do have a bunch of plastic bushings in them. Totally could be. It's the cable. Okay, yeah, we'll have to unhook it at the trans. At least we got this off. We can try to work that cable and get it freed up now.
Well, this is what I started scrapping cars with. And the reason it's open is so I could chop catalytic converters off.
Did you get it?
Yep.
Okay.
That's a shiny bolt under the black there. Somebody's pressed in control arm bushings in it. It had newer sway bar end links. This is an idler arm here. It's new. Everything feels pretty good, actually.
I want this clean. I don't want the HOA getting mad at me.
Gentlemen, our workpiece.
Yeah.
You want to go to lunch and get our new rubber mounted? I bet these brake hoses are fine, Jim.
They weren't.
Also, look, it's got new ball joints in it.
Let me spin. You hit the brake pedal.
Okay. Nope.
No, okay. Ooh, I heard something squishing.
Yeah, something blue.
Since the brakes clearly had problems, we decided to ignore it for a little while and mess with the engine instead.
I'll try to work it back and forth a little. So this should be a 10 3/4 to 1 motor. 350 horse. Oh, that was a hard spot. It'll be fine. Send it. This quadrajet will come right around. We just got to get that throttle shaft freed up. It got a little hot. They swell. Typical, they warp. We might as well get to work chopping out all this old wiring and the battery. I'll probably take that to the core, don't you think?
We should sell it.
Crackheads have field day with this. All the copper's already stripped. It's a numbers matching radiator hose. We'll put that on eBay for $3,000.
Numbers matching power steering cap.
We took a little break for lunch. Now we're back on it. I'm gonna crawl under there, drop the starter off of it. We'll change the battery cables. Jim will work up here, cutting wire out of it. We've also got to work on these front brakes, or at least that one front brake hose is broken. But I think we'll be good. This rubber hose over here, cooked off. Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe we change them both. Just for grins. Hold the inspection cover to get the starter off. These Pontiacs are really tight up in here. This one I'm not putting back on. That is one toasty starter. I bet it's fine. We're gonna try to run the original starter here. It is a reman, looks like an O'Reilly one. Had about ½ an inch of shims in it, which is typical of these absolute garbage O'Reilly starters. I brought a mini starter, but the knurled starter bolts don't fit in it for some reason. As long as I don't break this off, and I didn't. This doesn't look that bad. The plastic on the solenoid is fine. It survived fairly well, I think. Before we put it back in, we ought to wash it off with some brake clean, you know? We could spit shine everything we remove and reinstall.
Yeah, I have a starter rebuild kit conveniently in a can.
Look, all the paint's gone off of it. It says stop. Oh, not anymore.
There we go.
I bought one of those El Cheapo wiring harnesses from Amazon. This is a little better one. It's a 21 circuit. It's got everything in it. And it even has relays and stuff like that. We are going to use about 2 things out of this. The way I figured it is, this is going to have enough wire to wire the whole car regardless.
Well, the good thing is we can go with the Chinesium one because the risk of fire, there's not much loss after that because the harness is the only thing that would burn up. The rest of the car is already pre-charged.
That's an alternator connector.
That's what that is.
Yeah, that's to jump a 1-wire alternator.
There you go. We're halfway
Bingo.
there. We need a pigtail for ground.
All right, well that's what this guy is right here.
Perfect. We need about this much.
There you go.
Done.
Now I want to run the rest of that down to the starter for the push button. Bingo. We're going to be running this heavy bastard up here. I see a couple things that are kind of interesting, Jim.
Yes.
We have a new torque converter.
Awesome, which means the transmission's been rebuilt.
Yep, trans has been gone through. Looks like a new flex plate. I've never seen an oil pan without a dent in it, so I bet you that's a new oil pan.
Awesome.
And it is clean enough to eat off of under here.
So you're saying we have a place for dinner tonight?
Let's see if she'll wing.
Let's see it. We have a cranking engine.
She is gonna run. We got a lot of work yet to do, but that's good progress. Jim's removing the AC compressor because they're on Pontiacs. They are just in the way of everything. I'm gonna work on brake hoses actually, and that way we get our new tires. We can set this thing down on the ground. I know that we're being kind of whirling dervishes here, but this is the way it goes when you're trying to get something that is haunted and burned.
Possessed. It's not haunted.
Possessed.
It's possessed.
Trying to get it to drive again. Brake lights just come right off. Hydration.
Dalton, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and go for an AC delete here. The fire has conveniently disconnected this line. I've unhooked everything, so we're going to place this gently, like right. Oh.
Not the glass. Done. Oh, look how much better it is.
Hey, I can see plugs.
There's one of those. Don't need that.
Shit.
I got some brand new ones and new rubbers on here will bleed everything. I guess I should see if I can get that brake bleeder broke free while I'm here. And maybe we'll take a peek inside the drums too. This drum's got brand new grease in it, like it's, I don't even think it's been driven. Jay's working on this one.
Yeah,
Stuck.
dang it a little bit.
If the adjuster doesn't work, Jay, just beat the living hell out of it.
Okay.
Just hit it. There you go. In case you're wondering.
We got new hardware over here, new shoes, old wheel cylinder.
We got old shit over here.
All old?
Yeah. Shoes are good though.
These shoes.
Hardware's functional. Looks good. I mean, I don't think we need to do anything with it.
What about wheel cylinder?
No, it's old.
Yeah, so is mine. These shoes look significantly worse.
I mean, that thickness-wise, they're there. Just clean them off, scuff them up, clean out the drum.
It was like that before the fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's not fire related.
Yeah, let's just clean this all up. Clean those off.
Pack the bearings. Well, that brake bleeder broke free, so that's good. Let me see if the other one will, and we could try to run these wheel cylinders.
I'm rebuilding wheel bearings.
Yeah, and refurbished.
Rebuilt.
Rebuilding. Looks good to me. Well, on this side, we got a little issue here. I had to take this out of the wheel cylinder. These GMs use a little hard line to jump from the rubber hose to the wheel cylinder. And they're a bitch to get to. And they're a bitch to make. Let's see if we can get that rubber hose off there.
I'll get her.
Yeah, throw some vice grips on that. I already kind of mangled it.
Yeah, I know you did, so.
So while you do that, I'm going to take a peek at the rear brakes. JD's greasing the front end up. I'm just going to look at them, make sure the bleeders break free. I suspect that they're okay. It's 3 brake bleeders that have broke free. Yeah, rear brakes have new wheel cylinders in them. And the rear end feels like shit. We'll ignore that. Clearly we're working on a burned vehicle. We need to see, as we progress, we're going to get filthier and filthier and filthier. JD, come over here. I think you've got us all beat. Yeah, he's got it. He's got the white t-shirt. That really helps.
Yeah.
Well, I wore the black shorts in preparation.
Yeah, I wore light shorts, but now they just look gray. I thought they were actually camo. Drum turned. Looks beautiful. JD. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm tightening it now.
Tightening what?
The drain?
Oh, for the diff?
Yeah, it's full.
Okay.
Yeah, as you can see, it's got, on the ground now.
Dude, what is with the socks?
What? Okay, you expect me to wear good socks?
One white sock and one red sock.
You couldn't find 2 shitty socks?
I mean, yes, but you told me to grab 4 pairs of clothes.
Yeah, pairs.
Yeah, pairs.
biggest
Those are different.
I would not bring my good socks here.
Anyway, I'm gonna reline these shoes. The relining juice. I think a hammer will remove that distributor cap. Oh, there she goes. She's good. Now we'll take that off and replace it with that one that Tim had laying around.
Go side to side. Put a hand at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock and work it side to side and see if it wants to go on.
Not a digital clock, an analog clock.
Yeah, right there.
I know.
But like this.
Oh, I bet that coil's fine. The rotor looks fine, and it's got a new module in it. Our distributor looks like brand new. I think it is brand new. But this is the connector, and I could probably splice that together with the good wiring in here. But we'll see if Tim's got one laying around. I could just change out this little connector, and we'd be in good shape. Because it goes up to the distributor here, and that's pretty melted. All right, JD, this is very extreme. Probably the most difficult part of the whole car. It's brand new. It is brand new.
Dang. You want to keep draining it, or?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a brand new motor. Part of what makes me suspect it may never have ran or very long. Look at that belt alignment. So Pontiac's used a bazillion different pulley arrangements, or it could just be the water pump that is wrong, but 68 also had a different water pump, so maybe they just put the wrong water pump on it. Well, we're gonna have to try to shim around that and just try to make something work for 200 miles. Early 69 and earlier is a 4-inch pump, and the later pump is a 4.5-inch pump. That's a 1/2-inch alignment issue, which we seem to be having. This has an 11-bolt water pump on it, meaning it's a 69 and later. It's a YS code. It's probably a 70 engine, and they're using 68 accessories on it. There's your alignment issues. So all that said, there's absolutely nothing we can do about it unless we just happen to find a complete 1969 and up accessory drive. All right, dump that VR1 in there. It's got all the zinc that this thing needs. Tim had this Chevy distributor laying around. I'm gonna rob the connector off of that, plug it into our distributor, and that should take care of that without too much hassle. After changing the oil, fixing the ignition module wiring, and a few other things up top, we decided we'd try to bleed the brakes just to see what we had. All right, JD, you've never been on this end of the bleeding. You're learning a lot today.
Yeah.
First impressions,
Bad?
it's a little scratchy.
Just pump them 3-4 times and we'll have Jay break them free.
Let me get it pumped up here. Okay, I'm holding.
Okay.
So now break them open. A lot of fluid.
A little bit of air. Just a little bit, though. It's coming out now.
All right, now tighten it back up and then tell them, okay.
Pump them.
I'm gonna peek under here. See if I see anything pouring out. I don't. Are you getting pressure or is it just fluid?
There was a little bit of pressure.
We're getting fluid out of it for sure. Got decent pressure up here. Pump them.
Holding.
Okay guys, so we got problems with the brakes. Master cylinder's not putting out any pressure. Is what I suspect the issue is. And it's probably also wheel cylinders, but because we have one functioning brake. We have the left front.
Yes.
It could be that it's just not putting out enough pressure, and so it's going to the shortest run, or all the wheel cylinders are bad. But I'm willing to just throw a master cylinder on it and see what that does first.
Then we can blow out all the wheel cylinders and know that we need to change them for sure.
Definitely.
Yes.
And if it only blows out one or something, we're good.
Yeah.
I think we got our new tires, though. Look at them.
They did charge me a cleaning fee for desecrating the tire machine. They weren't exactly happy about it.
They were.
Mastercraft.
I told them it wasn't the first time they'd been let down by a YouTuber.
Yeah, so take the lines off, Jay. Go ahead and remove that master cylinder. We found some brake fluid, so we're going to try to just throw a master at it and see if that does the trick. Jim's pulling the AC condenser out because it's, well,
It might be slightly restricted for airflow.
yeah, it's not really condensing anymore. I'm going to throw the cap on, get that situated, probably get our plug wires in order. Our master cylinder looks fine, not going to lie. Be the O-ring. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. It is kind of hitchy though. You said you felt something in the pedal. Replace it anyway.
Yeah, we got it off.
I'd really like to do the booster too.
Well, do the booster then.
Radiator does look really good.
Yeah, it looks brand new. I mean, because this would have got protected from the fire.
The condenser
I think
thing.
we need to look at bushings in the top.
Pulled number 1 out just so we can verify the firing order, see where number 1's pointing. And these plugs are brand spanking new. They look really good. Honk honk. Alright, let me try to bump this thing over. It felt like compression. Let me go around one more time. Also, it's pumping fuel. And it's not where I would expect to see it. Typically, these point to the back right. This one's pointing to the back left.
If we put the wires on the cap and the post in the
don't make a
right
difference.
orientation, doesn't make any difference, right?
We have 1843657 plug wires, counterclockwise rotation on the Pontiac. I've made that mistake several times. Don't be like me.
I have treasures.
Oh yeah.
I'm digging out an AC condenser, and I have found a
Ooh. Hey.
snap-on impact swabble socket,
Shit, that's probably $20.
combination wrench,
Won't be damned.
double box end wrench.
Oh. Our benevolent host, Mr. Goodpliers, who's filling our
waste
loader
oil.
vehicle with used oil, says we could drive to the hotel and back before it needs filled back up. She's a winner, man. I got pulled over in it last night.
Hands. Does that window work?
It is a tail light,
The taillight's out on this. On
driving
the
light,
left
or brake light?
side. The driving light.
He gave me the finest loader we had. So.
We are within sight. There, the big C is our hotel.
385,000 miles as of this morning.
Mr. Goodpliers brought us an alternator. And this alternator, for whatever the hell reason, actually lines up. I mean, it doesn't line up, don't get me wrong, but it lines up
Way better.
Internally regulated alternators didn't come out till 71 on GM products. We're going to convert it, and that is just as easy. This terminal to the hod on the back, and then run this straight to the battery, you're charging. That is a complete wiring harness, allegedly. Ooh, we got to figure out which one of these supplies power to everything else. And we can tell because there's bridges on the back of the fuse block here. So one of these big red wires here, he goes over here, and then he has this jumper wire that goes up here, and it's feeding another bridge. So one of these is going to work. It's going to provide power. We have like what, 2 things: ignition and
Lights.
brake lights,
And a charging port.
yeah, that's it. And we can get it all right here. We have cabin power right here. This big heavy red wire is feeding this mess. I know it looks really bad. That's because it kind of is. For right now, I'm going to try to get a crank circuit. This is our crank trigger down here. And we're going to run it to a push button. Remove this push button, put my push button in. We're going to run a toggle switch that'll turn on the distributor power, turn it off for the coil. Pretty basic stuff. We're not going to use maybe 5% of that. All right, do we have crankage? We sure do. Well, I'm trying to get some coil power. Jim's trying to get the
I
trunk
got the
open.
third key.
Trunk
This
key?
is the third trunk key.
What the hell?
You needed it had to have the yellow stripes.
Yeah, Stanley. It ain't that bad in here.
No.
There is a trunk, and that's better than most of my stuff. Okay,
Well-
actually, it's pretty bad in there. Yeah.
I don't think it'll pass the stomp test.
I think it'll hold a Jag tank.
It damn sure will hold a jack. What? Look at that patchwork.
Oh, that's nice.
Holy cow.
Look at a custom cut, trim.
Yeah, they really tried.
A for effort.
What do you want to bet they had that filled in with filler?
There is filler.
Yep, there you go. Been there, done that. Allegedly. Coal miner boy, how's the brake booster coming along?
It's been about, what, like, how long?
About half an hour.
I only got 1 bolt off.
You got you got 2.
Nope. This
They're
one,
all loose though, right? Or moving.
all except one. Yes.
These brake
Got
boosters
the lock nuts here, and they're just tight every single time.
they're horrible.
I have to double up on the wrenches.
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Dude, it is. It's annoying. If I could get this off, then I'll do the other ones tomorrow.
All right, I'm still wiring. I got a toggle switch in here. It's boring though, and I don't want to show you. Jim, what the hell are you doing?
Well, we talked about what would it look like with some clear coat on different textures of this car, so we're going to find out. We're going to see what a couple spots look like if we decide to just clear coat it and preserve the patina.
But I hate that.
We talked about this at dinner last night. Get over it.
We just got hit by a truck.
So I can blame it temporary insanity. Just keep wiring.
Okay. Tim, what the hell are you doing?
Getting ready to buff a bumper.
Why?
Because?
Oh my god.
You don't want to sit on your hands.
It's not even on the damn car.
I'm the cosmetics
Jim's
guy.
clear coating it.
I'm the cosmetics guy. He's kind of the cosmetics guy. You guys are the mechanical guys. It's a division of labor.
JD's the damn mechanic. Look at
Well, he's the floor scrubber.
yeah,
He sweep the floor.
he's the broom.
I did a spot here. I did
It would
right
kind
here.
of preserve the car until I completely restored it. I
I did it right
suppose.
here. I did a spot up here.
We don't want to. Don't get any overspray on the glass, though.
I won't promise. Did the back, then around the trunk lock here.
That could work.
It could work.
That might actually work.
Let me do the trunk lid. Am I overlapping 50%? No.
No.
Do I care?
No.
No.
Well, things are devolving into absolute chaos around here because that's what
I think it's the fumes.
could be.
Overtired.
I think it's the fumes.
Let's extend that hotel tonight, Jim.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna make it bark off. Let me get to wiring.
Actually a replate bumper.
I thought it looked new.
Not a great replate, but it's a replate bumper.
Well, you know, it's not numbers. Scrap it.
Not numbers.
I like how it's all blued over here. Yeah. That might look kind of cool.
That's why I was going for it, honestly.
I want to verify that my ignition switch is working. We got power. Want to see if it pops off?
Timing's off.
Yeah, something's off.
Wheel.
Fine, Dalton.
Remember how I was saying, you know, Pontiacs rotate counterclockwise? I wired it clockwise like a Chevy. Yeah, I even said something about it in the video. So, you know, pretty much don't listen to anything I have to say. So here's number 1 right here. This guy should be number 8. But actually, this guy's number 8. See? Clockwise, counterclockwise. Look, it's been a long few days. Give me a break.
Get some weed eater fuel in here, a little oil for cylinder lubrication.
High compression engine. I don't mind popping them off and brake clean, but we sprayed a lot in there, so let's give it something real to chew on.
That's cool.
That is.
I got a chubby.
They didn't even tick, man.
No, it was like
Butter. All right, JD, it runs. Now we need brakes, and I just think the brake booster's probably melted. So you just keep working on that, little coal miner boy. Jim, that deck lid doesn't look bad at all. Maybe we get a couple more cans of that.
and it's gonna preserve it. Oh well, not a couple more. We'll need like
50.
5 or 6 more. But I'll do it. Yeah.
Then we'll all get high as balls off the paint fumes.
Well, that way it's gonna hold it until you decide what to do with it.
Can't eat or go to sleep until JD gets this brake booster off.
Okay, look.
Are you shitting me? I'm gonna starve, and you see me. I got reserve.
Jim's putting our taillights in.
Yes.
We got these beautiful trailer lights, finest you can get for $8.
Yes.
You just go to zip tie those somewhere. I made a discovery in here. The brake light switch in the car is actually fine. It's not melted at all. It's kind of up in that dark abyss, but I'm going to cut the wires off of it, supply power to it, run one wire to the back for brake lights. We don't need anything else. Maybe driving lights. I know this still looks really bad, but we have Brake and tail. It's the only things I needed out of that.
Stop turn is a green wire. So which one was the brake?
Brake is orange.
Okay, let's do that one first.
Looky there. Brake light. Now he's got to connect the two. We'll be legal-ish. The sun's setting. We're all starving to death. We have brake and tail lights. I'm going to help JD get this one damn bolt. This freaking booster is just as stupid as hell. We'll be here a while. I'll probably see you in the morning when we get back to work on it. Of course, we couldn't end the night without getting pulled over in Tim's loaner car one more time. God damn it!
You fucking outlaw. You're just a freaking outlaw. You know that, don't you?
Reason stops is your left tail light's out completely.
Yes, sir. I'm borrowing the vehicle from a buddy. I'm gonna buy a damn taillight for his goddamn truck.
You might
I'm
as well.
sorry.
No worries. Can I get your driver's license proof of insurance?
Today's video is sponsored by AG1. You guys know I'm a big fan of AG1. I take it every single day. As a matter of fact, while we were on this trip with the Burn GTO, I forgot to bring my travel packs, and I felt it, you know, after a week of that. So now I'm back home. I'm back on my AG1. You know, they've been upgrading this formula for 14 years. Lots of research studies backing this up. One that kind of interested me the most is people who drink AG1 had double the amount of healthy bacteria in their gut. And that's where digestion really helps, you know, and especially whenever you live like kind of high stress and you don't necessarily eat the best, having those probiotics really helps out. And God, believe me, it really helps out. It's just another morning around here and I'm drinking my AG1. I'd be drinking it whether they sponsor the video or not. So go to drinkag1.com/pullbarngarage or click the link down in the description. You get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 free travel pouches. Thanks to them for sponsoring the video. Let's get back to work on that goat. Good morning. I'm sick of getting pulled over in Tim's truck here, so I bought some red tape here. We're going to tape up this lens with it. And I also bought some bulbs, but we'll do that later.
Proper surface preparation.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is so we get pulled over again tonight. Then I can at least be like, well, I tried.
Completely restored.
Brand new taillight. You're welcome, Tim.
Get the GTO ferries off the payroll. They didn't show up last night and get it done for us.
God dang it, our Motor Trend crew didn't fix this.
Oh no.
We never did get that brake booster off last night. It's got one nut on there that's just stuck. They rounded off. I'm gonna cut the whole stud off. Try to finagle sawzall into there, I guess.
Stopping the car involves hacking things apart with a sawzall?
Oh, always.
Yes. Oh, finally.
Had to get a little violent with it. We got to get our length correct on this clevis, and so we just want to kind of hold them up together. It doesn't have to be exact. So we want this nut to be equal to the other nut. You don't want one nut hanging down lower than the other.
That's a bad thing.
Well, you should see a doctor. Well, booster's on.
Yes.
With 2 bolts instead of 4. That's just fine. So I'm gonna hook up the brake pedal. Jay, you want to get the master cylinder mounted? Tim's getting our new pressure line on, brand new out of his own stock. Well, gently used out of his own stock. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the return line on. It's gonna make that out of some fuel hose. This is just a return line. It does not carry any pressure, so there's nothing to really worry about. Make sure we've got enough room to adjust. We do. So we'll tighten that down, and that's done. Then we're gonna bleed some brakes.
While we're waiting on my dad to finish the power steering hose, we're watching Jim.
Preserving patina. This way it's gonna at least have some sort of a coating on it, so it's not raw metal until Dalton decides what the next stage for this car is. But until then, we don't want it getting any worse because we spent hours yesterday power washing off and scrubbing off rust stains, and there's a lot of bare metal in the car right now, so this will at least stabilize it until the next step.
We're going to bench bleed the master cylinder. I'm going to fill each reservoir about halfway. So I lost one of the plugs for the master cylinder, so I'll plug this one with my finger back here. Alright, just run the pedal slow, Jim.
You're going down slow.
Still nothing coming out of the front reservoir?
Nope, just the back.
Would that possibly mean that a Chinese master cylinder could be defective out of the box? I know it's a stretch,
Oh, yeah.
but work with me here.
Yeah, I think it most likely certainly is.
Ooh, something just
Dang.
did it.
Yeah, it did. I was holding the front one,
Yeah.
plugging it, and it
built up pressure and just sprayed out.
It's probably good now.
There are no bubbles coming out of either one.
It's squirting. It feels good.
Check if anything's spraying up there, Tim.
It's dry.
Holding.
Yeah, look at that. Brakes moving. We've got brakes now. This was just the master cylinder.
It wasn't.
We're gonna put 2 tires on the front. Then we're gonna have to jack it up and maybe try to replace the brake hose T on the back if we want to get there. And Tim thinks he can rob some springs out of something to replace the springs. What? Dang!
You should see the lug nuts.
I
Before and after.
You. I don't even know half of this stuff is going on. It's just happening in the background. Good stuff goes on the driver's side. That way he can be, you know, like, I'm cool, I got a GTO. And the passenger one's like, I'm poor, I have a GTO. Yeah.
It's noise.
I think it's got shocks.
Springs still have temper.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Yeah, we're good up front anyway. All right, Jim. You and me are going to work on hoses and belts.
Yes.
Up here. And a thermostat. I'm going to go ahead and change the fuel pump too, just because it did seem like it was working, but yeah.
I don't want to change it on the side of the interstate.
Me either. And now JD and Tim are going to be working on swapping out rear springs in this. You're going to take them, what, out of that?
Out of the 67, yeah.
Out of the Impala?
Good call on that one.
We dodged a bullet, huh?
Yeah, check that out.
Yeah, we dodged a bullet.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
The springs are melted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we lost temper. Better if I did on that stage.
There we go. There we go. Shock. I mean, a spring.
Sorry.
There we go.
Dalton incoming PTSD moment. Got a spring.
This baby's going to be jacked up, man.
Shackled up GTO.
Got any 10-inch breakers?
I heard that in a song once. I'm gonna need you.
To step down on the
yeah.
rear end.
This is big and this is small.
Did not fit?
By my hillbilly math, well, I want to look before I leap.
Hey, you just compare it to the other spring you just pulled out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
No.
that's not
Yeah.
gonna work.
I mean, GM stands for generic motors, but the interchangeability only goes so far.
Some genius has replaced the bolts in the fuel pump with studs, which you would think might make it a little easier, but it does not. In fact, it makes it much harder because you have to rock it onto the studs and the eccentric at the same time. Yeah, I mean, it might work okay if it's sitting on an engine stand or something, but as far as real life, no way.
Radiator hose is installed. Working on the heater hose bypass. And in a pinch, even though you have a 5/8 fitting back there and a 3/4 up here,
Just spit on it.
yeah, spit on a little shover home. It'll fit.
I got the fuel pump on. I'm going to go ahead and run a fuel line up to the carb, and then I'm going to run a fuel line to the back of the car. Trunk floor?
Yes.
Wiring is done. We have taillights, brake lights. You don't have any headlights, but we'll worry about that if it gets dark. And look, a power port. Luxury. Charge your phone there. So all of this, I'm not going to use. But look at all this extra wire we have, which is kind of the reason I bought it. I'm going to leave like that much, and we can always just splice back in. Look at all, we got enough wire here to wire another car now.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cheaper. We got the wiring we needed for this one, and now we have a bunch of wire. That was running pretty low at home, so we'll bring that back with us. I just want to cut them, get the whiskers off of them.
Don't want it sparking or anything.
No, shorten something out, so we do that, and then I tape them all up on the ends, and it's not ideal, but it'll work.
And then roll it up just like a fully dope.
Yep, and then we've got all these extra circuits if we ever want them. Obviously, I will install that better at a later date. Well, our fuel lines are ran to the back, kind of tidied up. It's pretty pro, if I do say so myself. Jay, what are you working on? Vacuum lines?
Yes.
Transmission modulator line was kind of melted. Change that out. That'll help us out later. Hopefully the modulator itself is not melted, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Starting to look like a car in here, though.
Alright, so I'm going to try and get this gas tank out. And I'm pretty sure all these are cut, so. There we go. I got gas tank dropped on one side. There we go. There's liquid in it.
Really?
Yeah, I can hear it.
What's that?
A tag.
Says limited slip.
Yep.
Use
Limited
diff.
slip
You-
lube only.
So you know what the original limited slip diff lube was?
What was it?
Whale blubber.
Really?
Yep, GM had a patent on it.
Huh.
They used whale blubber.
Did it work?
Stunk. Oh yeah, worked great.
Huh.
They don't do that anymore.
Okay.
That means it's a posi. It's
Okay.
a safety track is what Pontiac's term is for it.
That
Yeah,
is-
turn that drum. Oh wait, they're two different drums. You notice that? You're going backwards. That one's going forwards.
That limited slip or
No, that's
that's
open. If I hold this one,
Yep.
and you turn, and you can still turn it,
I cannot turn.
you cannot
Here.
turn it.
I'm gonna hold it and then you try.
I can't turn it. It's posi. Fill it up with some coolant, I guess. We might as well do that. Could wait on the other guys to come back with some lunch. Yeah, we could throw the boat tank in the back. Go for it.
Yeah. Well,
All right,
let's
yeah.
do this first.
Ah. Hard to tell if it's leaking now.
Yeah. I don't think it's leaking. Not right now.
Well, we'll have to cut this. This is full strength. I think the motor's brand new, so I definitely don't want to invite any rust to live inside of it. So this will at least work to keep the rust to a minimum. I have installed the Jag tank in the trunk. Yes, this would work very well. I didn't bring any self-tappers to attach this with, so we'll just leave it flopping in there. Where's it leaking?
Here.
Radiator's leaking?
Hole here. I can feel it. And then a hole up here.
Yeah.
Here, I'll fill it
Sure
up
as
and
shit.
show you guys.
Not good. Yeah, it's bad. Tim, do you have a radiator?
Radiator?
Yep.
Should.
We've got a pinhole
Yeah.
in the tank. Tim's gonna find us a radiator, but he also found us some springs.
These are the correct springs.
Wow.
68, not from a Le Mans, not from a Tempest. These are 68 242 VIN GTO sourced springs.
I see the orange chalk mark there. It's still barely present.
Barely
Yes,
present.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I have to make sure to clock that at 7:43 p.m. and they'll be ideal.
Just as the assembly line did, just as God and General Motors intended.
Yes, it must be perfect.
Oh yeah, I saw something like that.
Only the best for my fine classic American muscle machine.
I lifted that $50 GTO up and they just fell right out.
Draining the radiator again. Damn it. Anyway, you guys can do that. I'm gonna change the brake hose tee on the rear, then we can bleed the rear brakes and install some new springs. Or it wasn't this hose. I could blow right through it. I had JD hitting the pedal. We barely got anything out of the back. Whatever idiot worked on this last ran a 5/16 line to the back of the car, and then this adapter to try to go to the brake hose. This adapter is NPT thread that is not a flare fitting. That's never going to work. They put Teflon tape on all the fittings because they were stupid. Alright, here's the real problem. I just kind of dove in a little bit more here. They have adapters on every single thing coming off of this. And this junction block here, well, on a four-wheel drum system, it's just a four-way junction block. There is no other, that's it. All it does is distribute fluid. They have a disc brake proportioning valve on here. Because of that, they have a whole bunch of adapters to get the right flare size here. I don't know what the hell this is from, but it's not for this. It looks like one of those Chinese jobs. We're gonna just ignore it and run front brakes all the way home, I guess. But I don't know what else to do other than take that junction block off up there and put everything back, but that's just not really feasible. We got front brakes, it'll be okay. Because of that adapter they had in there, that NPT adapter, it was leaking. So that prop valve shut off the rear brakes, and that's why we didn't have any fluid back there. So,
Which would also explain why we have so much good fluid going forward.
yeah, we got perfect pressure on the front and just nothing on the rear. That prop valve shut it off. Even if it was working, we would only have about 30% of the pressure going to the rear. They probably wouldn't do anything anyway, so the fix for this is to go home and put disc brakes on the front. All right, these guys are putting on the back tires since we give up on the brakes like men. We have springs now. Tim found a radiator. Oh, that radiator.
That
What?
radiator.
No, man.
As far as I can tell, everything's right. automatic transmission lines, hose orientation. It's even got this handy thermometer that tells us the ambient temperature is now close to 90.
Did it bolt in?
Close enough.
Yep, it's good.
That's just kind of how these sit, really. They're always tail draggers. If we get an airline kit for those shocks, we could get it up a little. We got one little difference here on Tim's fancy radiator. That is much smaller than this. So you can fix that by just wrapping some electrical tape. Roundy, roundy, roundy. Before you know it, you will have an adapted radiator. I've done this before, it works. For how long, I don't really know, but surely it's got 200 miles in it. Look at that, fits perfect now.
Like a glove.
I'll let you figure out the top plate mounting, Jim.
Yep, I'm on it.
I'm gonna work on a throttle cable.
And a shifter cable.
I don't know what to do about that yet. So I was gonna put a throttle cable in it, but then Jim, pull on it. Me and Jim started exercising it and lubricating it. And now we have a throttle cable.
So when he pulls it down, go ahead and push it, and then just slide right back out.
Yeah. Give it a shot.
Oh, no, you're golden.
That feels wonderful in the car. Just doesn't have a lot of pedal travel, but are the secondaries opening?
No, sir. Isn't that supposed to be hooked to the inside of the car dome?
Well, yeah, so we weren't getting all the throttles, you know, and I thought, well, it's probably bent. Well, it was bent. And then I pulled on it and it would snap and fall off. Tim! Tim!
What do you need?
I need a gas pedal,
A gas pedal?
assembly, the rod.
It was bent, and he pulled on it slightly to straighten it, and went tink and fell right off.
Okay. Well, you know this car didn't come with a warranty.
Tim came through again. Just putting it on the tab. There's Super Tim, Mr. Good Pliers. Again, subscribe or else. We have a throttle pedal out of a 68.
68.
It's a 1 year only throttle pedal. And you had it. I'm gonna go throw this in, and then we should have an accelerator pedal. Then we're gonna put a windshield in it. Then I'll do the shifter, and that'll be like the last thing, I hope. It works. I'm gonna prepare to put a windshield in this. I'm putting off making a shifter because I really don't want to. But before I get all this cleaned up, gotta clean up this VIN tag that's worth more than the entire vehicle. 242 GTO. Put this ahead of the way, then we can clean up our gutter here.
Yes?
Yeah, I got some too over here. Looks like someone already urethaned it in once. Let's clean that thoroughly, and then we will attempt to glue a windshield in, which I'm not very good at. Preparing the surface for glass installation with brake plane. Now, disregard all of that, you know, that's actually super common in these cars for that to rot out up there. This is butyl tape. This is what it originally would have used to install the window. And for this, you just stick it all the way around the edge and stick the window on it. That's it. You're done. It's the same as the urethane, but it actually allows it to flex a little bit. I do have one question though. This thing might be a little warped. So I kind of wonder if this is going to be enough, but, well, we got nothing to lose by trying, I guess.
Yeah. We can always fill it in.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to know if it leaks anyway. Enough water's going to come in the side windows.
That's true. It doesn't matter, does it?
You're just trying to keep the bugs out of your teeth.
Oh, apparently you don't use it on the bottom, would be my guess. Well, we do now, though. Huh?
Why would it have that extra?
Because if you didn't put it on the bottom, you'd have enough for sides and top.
And we did find the seats for the windshield.
Yeah.
They have something on it melted, kind of, but they're there.
It'll kind of tell us where the
Yeah.
glass goes. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and load up the caulk gun, and we'll just do both. Well, I can definitely tell you, this is not how you do this. But, you know what? We could kind of fill in, you know, some of this over here. See that? That's repaired.
Looks just like that.
Uh-huh. Except for in all the ways that it doesn't.
There we go.
We'll replace the metal with urethane. It doesn't rust.
There you go.
So this would be a lot easier with the suction cup, but
I'm on my stand.
I am too. I think it needs to come
Your way?
my way, yeah.
Yep. Not that much because I need urethane. You gotta come this way.
I can do that.
Okay, urethane. Close to the inside edge. There you go.
I just don't want it to fall out.
Oh yeah.
That's what we really don't want.
Yeah. We can call our glass guy when we get
I'll buy
home.
another $200 windshield.
Let it go with it.
Yeah.
Here we have no contact over
Heck
here.
yeah.
We have a 1/4 inch gap all the way down.
Well,
So I think the car might be warped a little. Because it's touching everywhere else. Oh no, there it goes. Voila. Some bitch has got a windshield. How cool is that?
that's pretty cool.
I'm very happy. The install? Horrible. I shouldn't ever install windshields, but it's good enough. Now we need a shifter. I'm gonna try to save the shift cable if I can. So to do that, I think we gotta remove it, peel all the melted shit off of it, and then maybe we could save it. You know, shift cable's like $70.
What do you have there, sir?
A shifter cable.
Melted remnants of something.
Of course. Let's lube this cable before I move it too much, and I bet this will work. There we go. It's the one I was working. No, it isn't. It's the one Tim had. Now, the thing is, a regular shifter like that, the cable's actually a little bit shorter. So, we won't have first gear. You have your choice. You either don't have first or you don't have park. We'll elect to have no first.
I'm gonna sign your car. I want to sign the glove box. All the cool guys do it, like Jim Langers and like Carol Shelby. Is there a glove box I can sign, or is it melted off?
There, it's pretty melty. Why don't you sign the inside of the roof? Because that can stay.
It'll stay, it won't get rained off. But I want to sign the outside. That way strangers can see it, and I can get a sense of validation.
What does it say?
You'll have to come look.
We sell but don't service used cars.
Now you might ask, why wouldn't I just put the other shifter in? That worked fine. That's because I want the his and hers dual gate shifter, Hurst shifter here. I bet you that's factory. That was a high dollar option. You were pretty badass if you didn't have a 4-speed and you had the dual gate. See, when the lady's driving the car, you kick this little lever over here and it just functions like a normal shifter. But then when the man drives the car, you kick it over here and it's stepped. You can, and it's got extra detents in it. It's 100% gimmicky and stupid, but it's still pretty cool. We got a shifter. We have a fuel system. We have a windshield. We can drive this car. We should be good to fire this thing on its own with its own fuel system. We're gonna have to set the timing. I do not have a timing light, so I'm gonna try to do it by ear. We gotta be very careful because that's a high compression engine. We don't want to be detonating. This engine has to run on 91 octane, and when this was new, octane and fuel was over 100. Now, the best you can get is about 93. It was a different time, so you gotta be very careful with the timing nowadays. Back then, you have a little more leeway. So I think everything is clear. I think it is ready to fire. I'm gonna crank on it, and we're gonna see if that quadrajet has any life in it.
Do you want to prime it?
Yeah, maybe we do that just so we're not winding on it.
Probably not while it's running, but yeah.
Yeah, clear the fan here.
Just bend it up.
With a little more timing and a fuel leak fixed. Take 2. I just need to adjust the carb.
Yeah, it's burning all kinds of crap. Yeah, I think the carb's just junk. Go figure. It runs all right, other than that.
You try to adjust it. I didn't know they didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll fiddle with it.
Good?
Looks beautiful.
Beautiful.
Nice.
I don't think I can turn the mixture screws. But maybe once we shut her off. Or we switch it off quick. There you go. Ah, we got sprayed by something.
The radiator's burping.
Oh, okay, good. Let's let him do his thing, and I want to see if we have a transmission.
The other pump works. God, that engine sounds good.
There we go.
There was no valve train noise, nothing.
That's a good running car. Alright, shut it off. See if it cranks up. That's probably really good right there.
We're gonna see if it will move. So.
Sounds like right now. See, next time. Hey, remember when I said about my main lid?
Not yet.
Don't break it before we get to take it home.
Spicy now. Look at that.
What's that gauge say?
Under 190.
Nice.
I think it's fine.
Alright, we gotta get this hood straight. Get it pinned down so we can drive the damn thing.
Bob debris over the engine.
Oh,
Maybe we put the air cleaner on.
Yeah.
maybe not
I don't
that one
know.
though. I have a new one. We should clean it out maybe
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, I'll get some brake clean.
There we go. Call me crazy, but I think the car's a different shape than it used to be.
Little out of alignment right here, just a touch.
Just a little over here.
Just a little. We're good.
I hope it didn't last. You're good.
And this came out.
Oh. We have committed the ultimate mistake of latching the damn hood. It's stuck. So it goes away. Got it.
I can't latch.
Problem solved. Now you can jump on it at will. You need me up there? You need the XL body hammer?
Hang on, let me try one more time.
I brought a hood pin kit. Might as well use it, I guess. Maybe right there. There we go. Oh no, my pristine hood. Well, we're all about safety here, so hood pins for safety. You know, NHRA requires them. So the hood pins are done. There's an invoice here. Oh my God! $150 for that radiator, $50 gas pedal, $900 in labor, For what?
I helped.
I didn't know what I was getting into.
Did I put the cleaning fee on there?
You did not. You know,
This
you deserve
pad
a
is
cleaning.
filthy.
The right front brake is an on and off switch.
Well, we gotta adjust them yet too.
We adjust them, but I think it's the proportioning valve. Hello, gentlemen. Ready to go for a ride?
Yeah.
I think the fan shroud was rubbing the first time you got on the engine.
Hop in, Tim. Something may be dragging the ground. We'll see.
How short did you cut the gas tank straps?
Oh, they're short enough.
Pretty short.
Well, we only have a right brake, by the way. We've gone over 190. I think our fan clutch might be bad. See if we get moving, if it cools off.
That's the fan hitting the shroud.
Yep.
Yeah, what a death trap.
Hit the brakes, it's right turn, Clyde.
So that's a brake being held on, I think.
Dip.
It's actually totally drivable, that motor steering. It's not a bad one. Well, we're at Tim's shop here. Now, I'm not totally stupid, so I'm gonna buy a chase car off of him. You see those compression fittings on there and see how that one's leaking? That's why you don't do that. Idiots. I hate to say it. We could try adjusting these brakes, but I really think we're gonna end up putting that junction block on it and getting rid of that proportioning valve that somebody put on it. Here's our new chase vehicle. I mean, that is why we drove something out here, was to haul tools and such that we aren't going to be able to fit in that. So I picked this up off Tim for a partial trade for our semi-truck wrecked Chevy truck. And a cool $1,500. What a businessman he is. That's not counting my tab for all the parts, but still. It has working air conditioning, apparently. And about 200,000 miles. I'm sure it'll drive back to Kansas City, though. You know what's funny is that was built at Fairfax in Kansas City. This car was built at Leeds in Kansas City. And my grandpa, that's a 96. He retired in 96. So there's a good chance he was in the plant when that was being built. And he would go work at Leeds whenever Fairfax was laying off or, you know, shutdowns, retoolings. And so, and that was around 67, 68, 69. There's a good chance that Grandpa had something to do with this too. But why don't you want to ride my car?
Well, and you gotta admit, your current track record over the last couple days.
Hey, shut up.
I want to get 2 blocks home, that's the real reason.
Hit by a semi and pulled over twice by the cops in the last 2 days.
I don't, it's not my fault. No way. And nothing. The carburetor's junk.
Yeah.
But it works.
Let's see.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I think we're not done yet. I mean, this is going to take more time than I expected, which means I'm just stupid is what that really means. But I think we got a car. This thing's a lot nicer. Cruise
Than what?
control than mine.
Oh, for tomorrow? Oh, yeah.
God damn.
It's not nicer than the square body.
No.
Way better than the wagon. And yes, cruise works.
Cruise
Air
control.
works.
Cruise control, Jim, lives again. Good morning, gentlemen. We need to service the new Econo beater.
I think we need to put a whole new set of rings in it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm gonna put a new set of rings in our chase vehicle.
Yep. Anti-sludging.
And then I believe we also bought, did we get an entire fuel system and tune-up kit?
Yeah, plugs, wires, injectors.
You say half, huh? Well, I lose count a lot of times.
Probably
You know.
just look away for a minute. Oh, you hear how
Already runs better.
it's smooth as silk now.
Launch mode.
Okay. Whoa!
Hold on, we're getting second gear. There we go.
You know, for once, I think the revival car would probably outrun this without a lot of trouble.
I would say, so that GTO's got a running engine. Oh my God.
Morning, Tim.
Morning, fellas.
What are you doing?
I am protecting your fuel line from your raggedy hole in the trunk.
Why? It's fine. I'm gonna jack the front of this thing up and take a peek at them brakes. Something's leaking over here. Gotta get these brakes figured out before we leave. Fluid right there. That's brake fluid. This is the side that was working too, but I bet that one is leaking as well. We need to put wheel cylinders in it, is what we need to do. That's not super tight. Let me spin the other one. What it is probably that one's working. They're the same. I don't see anything wrong with this wheel cylinder, but it doesn't really mean anything. Doesn't look like this one's leaking in here either, but JD, hit the brakes, just kind of shh. Yeah, it's not doing anything at all.
So Mr. Dalton, I see we're changing wheel cylinder. Have we resorted to violence?
Yes. It was not being very cooperative. So, Jim, you've been working on making some brake lines.
Yes.
Flaring some.
Yes.
We're just gonna, they ghettoed it. We're gonna ghetto it our way.
We're gonna properly ghetto it. Well, functional MacGyver.
We're just gonna get rid of that proportioning valve they've put in there, just in case that was it. And we're just using a brake line T like an old school car from the 50s. We're just gonna split that. That's the front reservoir. Left brake, right brake.
Yep.
Easy. JD changed this wheel cylinder. I do think this was our problem here. Look how wet this guy is.
Oh yeah.
So this dude wasn't doing nothing. This is really pro routing here, Jim.
Yes.
Yeah, why don't they just run them on top of the firewall all the time? God damn, we're smart. Up and
I
over.
don't know about smart. Let's go with creative.
JD's putting this brake back together. I entrust my life to him. So when it doesn't work, JD, it's your fault. You can live with that forever. We can only get one nut on the power steering pump. That's going to be an issue, maybe. I'll get it as tight as I can, and we're just going to have to check it every now and again. If it falls off, it falls off. But sure to like to have it for a little while. Jim's about to finish the clear coat job.
Flow coat.
I'm going to begin upholstery. Got some cheap seat covers. I'm going to go ahead and reupholster the headrest. There we go. It's looking
Sealed.
like shinier rust, Jim.
Yes, we're
Yep.
sealing it. Did you not read the sign in the trunk? Preservation project.
Our upholstery's done. Looks great, if I do say so myself. Let's bleed brakes again. And then let's see if we maybe don't ditch dive so badly. Now, theoretically, we have brakes. We're gonna have to bleed that power steering system, and we'll take it for a test drive and hopefully have some brakes. Power steering's fine.
Nice.
Needs topped off, I think, so I'll shut it off, we'll top that off, and let's just take it for a spin. Yeah. Much better. Not
yeah.
good, but much better. It's still really grabby.
Yeah.
They're just like on and off. Wonder if it's that master cylinder.
Maybe.
I gotta be very gentle
Yes.
hitting the... Let's run her down the highway. Brakes are fading out. I don't know, man. I expect a little bit of biffiness out of that carburetor.
Yeah, makes sense. It's not like it was on fire or anything.
No.
Transmission shifts good.
Yeah, it does. I don't know how fast we're going, but it drives pretty good.
It does.
Brakes suck, but they work. I think I can live with it. Maybe we pinch off that rear brake line just in case.
Yeah, probably.
Back on the road, doing what a GTO does best.
Lost shifter.
Shifter cable. Stuck in second.
At least it's stuck in second, not anything else.
Clevis pin fell out of that. Well, it got hot sitting there while we were messing with that. Probably safe to assume that the fan clutch is probably bad. We'll see if it cools off when we get moving here. Then we'll know. It is.
Yeah, it is.
I think the fan clutch is bad, but lack of shroud is for sure bad. It's the only self-tapper I've shot in the entire car. I gotta re-ground my power supply here so I have a way to charge everything.
You just ruined the whole car.
It's trash now, it's not numbers matching. Well, Tim,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Just send me the bill. We appreciate it. Wish us luck.
Unfortunately, the GTO really wanted to return to its natural habitat.
Fuck. It's short. You got to get the battery cables off. How hot are they?
Get 'em off.
Oh, it's hot.
Are you rolling, JD, or no?
Yes, I'm on. Oh.
Yeah, it's the positive cable. What the fuck?
Put on the exhaust manifold.
Well, we started with a fire, and we're ending with a fire. Something got jostled. That battery cable melted inside of that metal tube that sits through the exhaust manifold. Very, very common on Pontiac. Melted a hole in our battery. We got to change that whole cable, or at least wrap it.
Let's get to work then.
Yep, that was our problem. It's all melted into this tube, which is supposed to protect it from doing just that. Must have been sitting up against the exhaust manifold, got hot. We're gonna have to devise a different routing for this. All right, we're not taking any chances. I've rerouted the battery cable along the oil pan, which I don't know why they don't just do that anyway, but they don't, so.
We might figure out why.
Yeah, we may figure that out. I'm gonna need you to pull those cables, bud,
Yeah.
but we'll get this on. Looks good. Let's see if it cranks.
We're hitting the shroud.
And with that, we were finally ready to drive 200 miles home.
Let's boogie. 200 miles home in the world's most burned 68 GTO. Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff in here. Like a lot of stuff in
Yeah.
here.
It'll blow out eventually.
Yeah, about 200 miles from now.
Yeah. That's where it's coming from.
Where?
The back of the seat.
Oh, that makes sense.
All that, whatever.
Yeah, we've ran into that before. You
Yeah.
think we would have learned. 66 miles an hour. It's smooth as silk. It feels terrible actually, but but it's not that bad. Carburetor is junk, but it's amazing that it's still running. I mean, we didn't even really replace anything.
Oh, yeah.
If it stays that way, we'll be good. It's like 95 degrees out. Nothing falling off?
No.
The brakes are terrible.
Yeah, no smoke out the pipes left.
Got a shift kit in it for sure.
Yeah, no. Must have a new. No.
I think it does have a newer transmission in it. Man, these roads, something's
Yeah.
might be the fan shroud. I guess that'll clearance itself, won't it?
I mean, as you can see, there's just patches.
Oh, it's terrible. I can't even. But you know what? The road is that bad, and the car drives perfect. It's a Pontiac. What can I say? You know, I'm sure there will be a lot of people with zero imagination in the comments that go, why even bother? The car is completely destroyed. Well, for one, I think it's restorable. Two, look, buddy, this isn't some smog era piece of crap or some land yacht or a freaking pickup truck. It's a 68 Pontiac GTO. This is the top dog. This is the best car Pontiac made, period. This is the Duke, the #1, the GOAT. Pulling up on the spot where we got hit by that semi-truck. We were within 17 miles of making it to this car. Yeah, my oil spot's still there. Let's get back on. I don't think that carburetor's very happy.
No.
See if we can blow it out. Or it's running out of gas. Come on now, why are you acting up like this? Let's go to a gas station and make sure that boat tank is full.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a hammer to the carburetor and just
Yeah,
give it
probably.
a couple taps. I never did that.
Oh, yeah.
It just worked. If we have to, I have a carburetor, but I'd really like to get home on the original. That'd be pretty cool. We have 4 miles to a truck stop. I would really like to limp it there. Come on, baby. As far as fuel goes, I'm not really sure what this dude's problem is here, other than the fact that, you know, it's probably melted. Yeah, give me the socket set because I think it's loose.
Oh.
The carburetor was loose. Like, I put 3 or 4 turns on the bolts. That should help us some. Yeah, look at Yeah, that'll help. See if it runs better with the carburetor tightened down. It just might. Yeah, it runs a lot better now.
Maybe you don't need carburetor.
It wasn't leaking. I mean, the base plate wasn't leaking when we checked it, but that was before we got it hot and drove it, you know. We are 40 miles into our journey. Just humming along. I mean, look at that temp gauge. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's perfect, but I'm driving it.
Yeah.
It's starting to cut out again. We got some. I really should have replaced the carburetor and not been so stubborn, I guess. We'll take it as far as it'll allow us. My hands.
Wow. That steering wheel.
It's like it's burned or something.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Still running, but under a load, it is not happy. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find something wrong, like a pinched fuel hose or something. I'm fixing it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But I'm gonna
Maybe I knocked something loose. What is that? Oh,
That's it.
that is it. Let's get a zip tie. So that's a metallic spring in there. It gets hot, and that's what opens the choke. Well, the spring tension's gone, much like the rest of the spring tension in the whole car. So if we just tie that open, we'll see if that helps us out. Let's see what that did. So far, so good. How far are we gone? Maybe 15 miles, and we're back to this. I wonder if that zip tie fell off. We have 134 miles remaining, but I feel like we need to stop and take a look at that carburetor again.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe if it's not the choke, we beat the hell out of it. If we get another 30 miles out of it, then we'll get another 30 miles out of it. Well, it's not the choke, is it? I guess beat on it and try to make it eat whatever is in there.
Hey, do you and your dad have a jacket or something in there? I'm getting kind of chilly back here.
Oh, thanks.
I just don't think there could be that much wrong with it. It runs pretty good.
I mean, the fire's right up, like it's just smooth as silk.
Maybe it needs a little more fresh air. So
The carb flip.
The lid flip.
Lid flip. Oh, I'm sorry.
10 horses right there. Jim, look at that.
It might actually help.
It has the scoops melted out of it, so that's a Ram Air hood now.
Full functioning.
Well, JD's opting for the air conditioning for a little bit. I can't blame him. So let's hit it. We only got like an hour and 45 minutes left. Not terrible.
Look at them fine taillights.
It looks pretty good.
The brake lights working. Watch this. Here we go. Check out the fine brake light work. Look at that.
Wow.
Full ghetto.
Kansas City, here we come. All right, getting on the highway. Seems to be doing all right. I'm gonna try to run the interstate. We'll see how well that works out for us. Probably bad. Up, it's cutting out again. The lid flip did not do the trick. We may end up putting a carburetor on this. Oh, this is a really bad spot to break down.
Cutting out pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing we could probably do is just throw a carburetor at it and see what happens.
Yeah.
While Dalton's changing the carburetor, JD took the fuel line off and noticed the moron that worked on this put Teflon tape on a fuel line. You don't do that. Fuel dissolves it. You do not Teflon tape a fuel line.
Then the Quadrajet eats it.
Yes, and then
we have this.
and it does this.
Anyway, hopefully this Holly works. This is, I got that when we went to Texas. We went to the open box outlet store at Summit, and the only thing I saw wrong with it was the linkage is bent like it got dropped. I'm guessing we just straighten that out, and hopefully it runs. It doesn't look like it's ever been ran, although there's a pipe plug and this sitting inside of it. This thing is a pain in the ass. It's a direct Quadrajet replacement carburetor from Holly. What a pain in the dick. You cannot hardly get carb studs on it.
I need to pump some fuel into it.
right, let's see if this is any better. I don't have full throttle, but I don't really care, honestly. Let's just, let's try to get some miles under us.
I wonder if that carburetor changed.
Well, it's gonna change something. Let's hope it's for the better.
Yep. I think we're doing just fine.
He's actually going to pass somebody.
Oh
Look, he's actually going fast enough to overtake. Holy shit.
You gonna make it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow, first pass of the day. Probably the last one.
We're about to pass a fire truck. Oh, the irony. It's taking a lot of effort to not open up all 4 barrels and let this YS Code 400 do what it does best, which is scream. This is no slouch. These were a hot car in '68. You know, Car and Driver tested them into the low 14s on a bias ply. I'm not going to do 100 miles an hour in this without a seat belt. Imagine this thing restored back to its former glory. If only I knew a guy who could pull that off.
We buy this car to be our chase car. And this is the one that's starting to cut out and surge now.
Your foot's on the pedal. Same
Yeah,
direction.
steady, and it just kind of cuts in and out. Look at that, Cybertrucks.
Whoa. I've never seen a Cybertruck.
Probably ought to check the oil too while we're at it, huh?
Okay.
Let's see what sort of mileage we got. How far we go, Jim? About 110?
From the last stop?
Yeah. We used 8.2 gallons. Math in my head says it's bad.
Right.
It's full.
Hasn't used a drop.
Not one bit. That is a good motor. It's running great now.
Is it?
Good thing we put that carburetor on there.
It's still got, I can tell it's still trying to vapor lock, but it's got enough fuel to overcome it now.
It's got enough flow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last fuel stop, let's get home. What a good car. Oh, I got a burger to eat here. I guess I'm gonna have some delicious Pontiac steering wheel with my burger. It's charred. This is better than an LS whatever the hell swapped anything. This is a machine. This isn't programmed by some nerd in his underwear, okay? Nobody's sitting with a laptop writing code to make this car run. It's a combination of bolts, nuts, and steel that makes this car what it is, but there's a little bit more than that. This car has a soul. It has heart. It has the soul of everybody who assembled it in 1968. It has the soul of everybody who's owned it since then. It has a little bit of everybody. I can feel this car talking to me. This car wants to live. I can't feel a computer talk to me.
surging really bad. I don't know, mass airflow, or no, it's just map sensor cars. So map sensor, throttle position sensor. Some that's going through fits where it's not happy, but we'll get there.
So it just ran out of gas. I guess.
It's about all it can be. That the fuel pump took a shit.
Put gas in it. Let's see.
It's rock heat.
Black smoke. Let's go.
Guess you probably should have got a real Pontiac.
Hey, you bought this.
I know.
I think he's trying it out.
Yeah, probably. Got the finish line.
Oh!
We made it.
Eventually.
You know, what had more problems than anything was that piece of crap Grand Prix.
Yeah.
That thing sucks. This
Yeah.
one is pretty good.
This was a lot of fun. The funniest thing is, this car wants to live.
Oh yeah.
This engine wants to live, and it's a hard running car.
Yeah.
Hard running car. Who else is going to take something that's been in a fire and in 2 days have it running and driving?
Insane people.
Yeah, my kind of people.
Okay, cool. We'll see you guys next time. And there's something you should take away from this. You know, whenever things get really hard and semi-trucks run into you, don't stop. Just keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
Until the rods come out of the engine.
Until that happens.
And then push some more.
And then push some more until you know, rupture some veins in your forehead. Mm-hmm. And you too can do stuff like this. We'll see you next time. Please buy a shirt, polebarnmerch.com. We should have roasted goat shirts coming soon.